Tonight, the latest on the journalist killed in Saudi Arabia.
And later, China's plans to launch an artificial moon.
Plus, Sears department store has filed for bankruptcy. We'll have more information on those stories and more.
Hello and welcome to MCTV's weekly news update. I'm Morena Kordei.
And I'm Alexis Sullivan. Here are tonight's top stories.
As investigators dig for clues into the apparent slaying of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Saudi Arabia, one man who is believed to have played a pivotal role in the disappearance has been thrust into the international spotlight. His name is Maher Abdulaziz Mutareb, and he is a Saudi Arabian intelligence officer and former diplomat. He has now been seen in a number of leaked CCTV images, which Turkish media claims are suspicious. Turkish officials are now claiming he flew into Istanbul on a private jet along with an autopsy expert on October 2nd and left that night. The new leaked images come as U.S. President Donald Trump revealed overnight that he now believes that Khashoggi is dead. He also warned Saudi Arabia of very severe consequences if they are to be proven responsible for it.
After a body camera burst into flames during a police officer's midnight shift in Staten Island late Saturday night, the NYPD decided to recall almost 3,000 body cameras. The officer was not hurt. He saw smoke coming out of the device and took it off. All other officers wearing the LE5 cameras were told to remove them and hand them in to the police department. Those officers who had those cameras will continue to patrol, but without body cameras. This setback could hinder a police department plan to have all 23,000 patrol officers wearing body cameras by December.
By the year 2020, Chinese scientists hope to launch an artificial moon into orbit to help light up the night sky and act as a substitute for street lamps. The moon, which is a mini satellite, is to be hung above the city of Chengdu. The artificial moon is said to be about 8 times brighter than the real moon and will orbit much closer to the Earth. The new moon could save the city around 1.2 billion yuan, which is about 200 million American dollars, in yearly electricity costs, and could help aid first responders during blackouts and other disasters. If the project is successful, 3 more artificial moons could be added to the night sky by the year 2022.
All these cold temperatures and windy days mean we're definitely in the middle of fall. Jack Sullivan is here to tell us the latest on weather.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's High and Lows Report. I'm Jack Sullivan. This past weekend, we have continued into the autumn, but it seems it got warmer on 1 or 2 days. It didn't last long, however, and for this week it is difficult to predict the mild temperatures of the weather as the days progress. In fact, we're looking at mostly sunny skies throughout this week with a high of 55 degrees Fahrenheit. As we have a closer look on this week's forecast, we have the probability of no huge temperature drops throughout the day. Also, do expect the temperature to drop by nightfall as we need the sunlight to keep us warm throughout the day. I personally prefer the warm weather as I'm in fact sad to see this go. Our last weekend definitely had a nice weather where we didn't have to worry about getting a jacket or wear long pants. Unfortunately, the greatest drop in temperature occurred on Sunday. The cold fronts that are approaching as the tri-state area as the spreads into the clouds, causing this cold temperature. We unfortunately had a few rain showers every once in a while, so I hope you people were staying dry at home. This next photo shows how the alert system can be organized on your smartphone or Android device. People find it shocking to get an alert on their phone or some sort of panic over some small things such as an excessive amount of rain. Now you are able to turn on and off weather alerts and change the alert depending on your location. This new feature seems to become a lot more convenient for some people who got notified over a storm, which is a time isn't that big of a deal. So I don't think that these phone companies are doing a good thing doing this. Now focusing on our weather on our neck of the woods, for today's weather, we reached a high of 50 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 39 degrees so slightly above the average of 48 and 37 degrees. Today's sunrise will be at 7:12 a.m. and the sunset will be at 6:05 p.m. Tonight we're looking at a partially cloudy skies with a low of 39 degrees and a 0% chance of precipitation with the winds at 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead tomorrow, we'll see a 0% chance of precipitation with a high of 55 degrees and the winds north at 8 miles per hour. Now taking a look at 7-day forecast, do expect partially cloudy or sunny skies during the weekdays. The showers as we head into the weekend, the highest temperatures will range around the low to mid 50s and the lowest temperatures will be around the low 30s. Be advised, especially past dark, that the temperatures this autumn will stay very chilly. So stay safe and warm. And well, that concludes our weather report for this week. I'm Jack Sullivan. Thank you.
On October 21st, the floor of a condominium clubhouse near Clemson University collapsed during a large private party, hurtling dozens of people into the basement. The collapse occurred when a popular song played and all the party guests were jumping to the music, resulting in the sudden boom and then the floor beneath them breaking. About 30 people were hospitalized, although none of the injuries were life-threatening, as reported by the Clemson City Police. The clubhouse is currently being inspected by structural engineers, and from there will be determined how to be rebuilt to make it safe for all residents.
According to a Wednesday report by the CDC, 92 people from 29 states have gotten sick from salmonella. No one supplier has been identified as the source. In fact, this particular strain was found in both live chickens and raw chicken products, so the CDC said that this problem might be widespread in the overall chicken industry. 21 people have been hospitalized, although fortunately no one has died. However, the strain of the illness is resistant to many of the antibiotics that are typically used to treat infection. To prevent getting salmonella, the CDC advises practicing good hand washing and cooking chicken to an internal temperature of 165 degrees.
This Tuesday will be the largest lottery jackpot in history, Mega Millions reports. On Friday, the Mega Millions jackpot was $1 billion. After no one had a ticket with the winning numbers, the jackpot was raised to $1.6 billion, which is the highest the grand prize has ever been. However, if you do end up getting that lucky ticket, the lump sum will be $904 million. Still quite a hefty amount. If you have the winning numbers from Friday and still have yet to claim the prize, there is still time to do so. Anyone who has the winning numbers has up to a year to claim the prize.
Sears, the once dominant retail chain that changed how Americans shopped and lived, has filed for bankruptcy. Sears was once the nation's largest retailer and its largest employer. The company has been struggling for several years and is now drowning in debt. The final straw was a $134 million debt payment due Monday that it could not afford. Sears said that it's been looking for a buyer for a large number of its remaining stores, and it will close at least 142 stores near the end of this year. That's in addition to the 46 store closings already planned for next month. President Trump also lamented the company's decline on this Monday, saying that Sears has been dying for many years. My mom actually entered a Facebook pool for the lottery, so I'm hoping the next time I'm on the news it's because we won a lot of money. But.
Yeah, my dad asked me to send him 10 lotto tickets because we don't sell lottery tickets in Hawaii, so it's my responsibility now to be gambling for the rest of my family.
Oh, that's cool. Good luck with that.
Thank you. You too.
From a fan's interference at a major baseball game to updates on Marist soccer and football teams, Patricia McGuiness has the latest for us in the sports world.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Patricia McGuiness with This Week in Sports. Fan interference may have ruined the Astros' shot at the World Series. In the first inning of the Game 4 at the ALCS, Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros hit what could have been a 2-run home run. It was then almost caught mid-air by Red Sox right fielder Mookie Betts when a fan touched his glove and the ball left the park. Initially, no one was sure if it was a home run or an out, until it was reviewed in New York and confirmed that Altuve was indeed out. Since there was a spectator interference, the ball was called dead. The Red Sox benefited, eventually winning the game 3-1. In Game 5 of the League Championship Series, the Boston Red Sox beat the Houston Astros again, but this time 4-1. They will advance to the World Series, where they will play the other National League Series winner. Jets kicker and Marist alum Jason Myers went 7 for 7 on field goals. This is a franchise record and a personal career high for Myers. This took place on October 14th against the Indianapolis Colts. The Jets won this game 42-34, with Myers making 24 of these points. Jets fans are now optimistic and hopeful about the rest of the season. There is already some drama surrounding Super Bowl 53. Rihanna, in support of former quarterback Colin Kaepernick, has refused the opportunity to perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime show in February. She disagrees with the NFL's current rulings that prohibit kneeling during the national anthem and supports Kaepernick's new movement instead. Maroon 5 will be performing instead. NHL coaches usually only pull their goalies if their team is down by 1 point, and this wouldn't have happened until the very last minute of the game. But recently, Coach Babcock of the Toronto Maple Leafs decided to pull his goalie with 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Toronto was down 1-0 against Pittsburgh when this decision was made. Babcock's plan quickly backfired when Pittsburgh scored 2 more goals on the empty net for a 3-0 victory. The Chicago Blackhawks fell to the same fate when their coach pulled the goalie with almost 5 minutes left. They were down 3-1 against the Arizona Coyotes. With 3 minutes, Arizona scored and won the game 4-0. With many NHL hockey games ending with such close scores recently, more people are starting to believe that pulling the goalie earlier is a good idea, although it didn't go well for these two teams. On October 17th, the Marist women's soccer team beat Siena 2-0. The first goal was scored in the second quarter by Katie Samaro. 2 minutes later, Nicole Sasso headed in a free kick from the corner by Alexis Svensson. The same day, the men's soccer team went up against Canisius College. After double overtime, the game ended with a 1-1 score. Marist's only goal of the game was scored late in the second period by Bo Hornberger and assisted from Alvin Gavilanes. It was a tough game, but the team is ready to take on Fairfield on October 24th. On October 13th, the Marist football team won 20-17 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville dominated the first half with a 14-0 lead. At the end of the third quarter, Jacksonville was winning 13-7. It wasn't until the fourth quarter when Marist came back to take their first lead of the game by scoring 13 unanswered points and won the game. That wraps it up for This Week in Sports. Let's send it back over to the news desk.
The Marist College Music Department just announced their fall concert series schedule that will go from October 2019 to December 2019. Some of the music groups that will be performing are the Marist Singers, the Marist Orchestra, and students from different music classes. Some of the events that will be taking place are Night on Broadway on Saturday, October 27th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., and Sunday, October 28th at 2 p.m. in the Nellie Galetti Theater. The Orchestra and Chambers String Fall Concert on Sunday, November 18th at 2 p.m. in the Nellie Galetti Theater, and the Ultrich Brass and Strings Recital on Tuesday, December 4th at 8 p.m. in the Fusco Recital Hall. Many of these events are free to enter and are guaranteed to be a hit. Make sure to check out the Marist website for more musical events and any updates.
The American Embassy in Australia invited every subscriber to their newsletter to a cat pajama party. It turned out to be an error that occurred during a testing of their newsletter platform. The email featured an image of a cat on a couch eating cookies while wearing a Cookie Monster onesie. An apology was given by the U.S. mission to Australia's Public Affairs Counselor, but no one seemed to be inconvenienced by the incident, and many were disappointed that the celebration was not actually real. The New Zealand Embassy's Twitter account even joked about it and attended a virtual version of the party.
The details of the 2019 Met Gala have just been released. It is being held, as always, on the first Monday in May, which is this year 6th and 7th. The theme is Camp, Notes on Fashion. It is based on an essay that states that the essence of camp is the love of the unnatural, of artifice and exaggeration. Guests will most likely sport over-the-top satirical clothing that makes statements about art, pop culture, and even politics. The co-chairs are Anna Wintour, Lady Gaga, Harry Styles, Serena Williams, and Gucci's creative director, Alessandro Michele. This year's exhibit will feature 175 pieces, which is 25 more than last year's.
From movies and music to celebrities in the royal family, Natalie Bochi has got it all covered in this week's Entertainment Report.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Entertainment Report. I'm Natalie Bochi. Pop star Ariana Grande and SNL star Pete Davidson called off their engagement after 5 months this past week. Suspects believe the death of Mac Miller was the breaking point for Grande and Davidson's relationship. The couple was last pictured together on October 10th in New York. Pete even had his bunny ear tattoo, which Grande is known to wear, has now been covered up and transformed into a heart. Yet, sources say the couple still have love for each other, but things are over romantically between the two. The possible rekindling of the romance in the future is not ruled out, leaving many begging for more details. More into the world of music, more shade has been thrown from Nicki Minaj at Cardi B and Future's new track titled Transformer. One of the line acclaims, "Some call me Nicki, but some call me Megatron. I'm stopping bags and I don't need a red octagon." The New York Fashion Week fight that Cardi B and Nicki were involved in was a direct reference in this line. Cardi B accused Nicki of stopping her bags during the event, leaving many wondering how Cardi will react to these lyrics in this new hit song. As we all know, she has never been afraid to speak out in the past. It is safe to say the feud between the two artists are still in full swing. On a brighter note, Kensington Palace has reported exciting news that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is pregnant and is expecting a baby in the spring of 2019. The couple are thrilled to adding an addition to their family, leaving the rest of the world anxiously waiting for the baby's arrival. Halloween is also approaching, and the new movie Halloween, directed by David Gordon Green, has hit charts. It is reckoned to be the highest opening ever for a horror movie with a female lead. Jamie Lee Curtis has taken on the main character, Laurie Strode, topping charts for this thrilling movie. With a $77.5 million launch, this new movie has generated some of the best reviews a series entry yet, so maybe check it out to get into the Halloween spirit for the following week. Well, that concludes our entertainment report for the week. I'm Natalie Bochi. Thank you.
Apple is expected to have its next big product announcement for the first time ever in New York City. Apple, which usually holds their events in the Bay Area in California, will unveil their new line of products on October 30th at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. The new devices that will be on display are updated versions of the iPad and Apple Pencil. It is also rumored that a new MacBook and Mac Mini will be on display as well. Apple sent out invitations to guests that featured different drawings of the iconic Apple logo, which was a nod to the event's host city, the Big Apple.
Alumni weekend was this past weekend, and people from all different graduating years came back to their alma mater. The weekend started off Friday afternoon with a presentation of awards to 3 exceptional alumni: Paul X. Wren, 68, James M. Barnes, 68, and Kelsey Donahue, 13. Saturday morning to early afternoon included various receptions by different clubs on campus, including SGA, Study Abroad, and student athletes, to bring together alumni who had participated in that organization during their time at Marist. There was also an alumni family picnic on the green in early afternoon for more opportunities for alumni to mingle and see old classmates. Wait, I'm really curious about the Apple Pen.
I was about to ask,
I have
what
no
is an
idea
Apple
what that is.
Pencil?
I'm thinking it's like a stylus, like, like for the DS. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
like to use like on
To,
your
like, write on
iPad,
it or
maybe.
something, maybe.
Yeah, but
I
then
don't know. That also just seems kind of dumb and like really easy to
yeah,
make,
would you
so I
just
don't
buy
know.
it separately, or is that like a thing that comes when you buy like the iPad or the?
I guess we'll have to find out. October 30th.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Thank you guys. I'm Morena Kordei.
And I'm Alexis Sullivan. Thanks for watching and good night.